this is what I was talking about, where I'm going to make the little bit of a drain. I marked down here where I want to put the slit, and all you do is just cut that in there, and that way I can hammer that piece down. All right, there we go. It's in place. I had to trim off the upper and lower flange up in there to fit around that. Whereas the passenger side, I needed to only trim off the upper side because the bottom side actually had a pretty big gap there, and believe it or not, the 16 gauge actually filled up the gap. So all right, what I'll have to do is trim along the top there because of where it goes into the pillar there, and then lay out the holes for the tipple die, and then trim out the backside too for that little bit of for the window there. So yeah, making progress slowly but surely, getting there as usual. We're just inside the car where the little window is. I'm gonna cut that out straight across there, up on an angle, round it all off, and then weld up that hole there. Wasn't sure if I was going to go need to cut that far back or not, but yeah, so yeah, there we go, slowly but surely. Alright, time to grind down that line here. A little extra material there so I can get the inner rocker on. First, I'm here for a little bit. Alright. Double dies for lightning holes in this thing. Oy. First off, figure out the center line of it. So in here we got it's 3/4, so that's what, 1/7 is the center line here. But remember, since on the taper, we got to figure out for both ends. So 1.7 inches. Make sure I'm right here. Yeah. 5, 7. Yep, 1.7 inches. Center line down there. Yeah, here 375, which is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 18, 17. 3/4, 1/8, 1/85. Yeah, 25. Mark the center line down there. So actually on order I got some fine line tape to lay it down. So actually for really would be really cool, I could go get my laser that I use for working on the house, but I ain't getting that high speed with this. Good old tape works. I'm just using the tape so I can draw a straight line. It doesn't have to be perfect by any sense of the mean. But I do like consistency. Alright, there we go. Got our center line. Take the tape, but whatever. And just start that design. And the way it works is, we got a couple different types. You have ones that if you follow Make It Custom, a guy named Carl Fisher, he actually shows you how to make these. It's actually really cool. I'm not that good. He's really freaking good. But what you could do is you could draw, I think this was a 3/8" hole through here. You've got actually like a 20-ton press or something like that. This will shear the hole, pop out the plug, put it back through, punch it down. You got the female end and the male end here, and around it. And when you crunch down on them, it'll actually bend the flange into it. When I did the other side, I drilled an 1.5" hole first because it was way easier for me because I don't have a press or my impact gun. I felt like I was going to strip the threads out too much, so I just to give it a little bit of help, I gave it an 1.5" hole saw first, and then I put a bunch of grease on the dies to actually allow it to smoothly bend the flanges. So if I remember right, what I did was one of these things. Anyway, this gets one here, and took my marker. Perfect, I flipped it around. I literally just eyeballed it to where I liked it. There we go. The same thing with here. I'll bring it down a little bit, gives that about 1" space off the end. So it's there. And obviously this can change spacing. I'm just trying to get a rough start. Now we have plenty of room. So alright, keep the hinge off. Oh yeah. If I remember right, when I did the other side, as you figure, that's how big that the lightning hole is going to be. Get this around. There's that. And I like even spaces, so I'm going to do 10 on this side. So 10. Divide by 29.5, that's what, 2.9 inches? No, I can go one off. Because one's already done, and the other one's already done. I don't like doing math in my head, I'm an idiot. So, what you do is to figure out proper spacing. So I know it's 29.5 inches, so 29.5 divided by 9 equals every 3¼ inches, I need to put a crosshair, and that'll give me proper spacing for this area here, and probably end up pretty close down there, because it's actually 3.27 instead of 7.8 inches, which means 3.27 inches repeating out to infinity. So 3¼ inches, we can fudge it left and right a little bit to make it look evenish. So let's do that. So that's 3¼ I'll use my scale. Better. Wait, a little more than 6 inches. Because that's what I'm used to dealing with. And when we get down here, it should be fairly close to that first hole. And I'll go along and drop the die on there to make sure there's plenty of room, no interference. And hey, look at that. We're just about on the money down there. Alright, so that's where that one is. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 holes. 5 inch spacing between them, roughly. That looks pretty good there. Let's only get one up there. And on this side here, I think I ended up just doing 4. That's all. That looked really good. Yes, I'm never gonna see this. So like I said, figure out spacing. Since one's already there, you want 4 holes here. You need to take away 1. So it is 9 inches. So we'll go every 3 for quick math. 3 and 6. Yeah, let's see what much is it. Did I do 3? No. Yeah, I think you guys love how I figured this out on the fly. McFly! Let's see, where are your pictures? With the holes in it. Yeah, I did 4. Okay, cool. Yep, see? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Alright. And that's only the one there on the bed. And we'll put that guy just to show. So to give you an idea. Cool. Alright, let me get the drill bit out. Piece of wood. Clamp it down. I probably want to clamp it down. Drill out the holes. And then we'll get to we'll draw out the pilot holes for the center, and then break out the hole saw and punch out those for the dimple die. There we go. They're all laid out the way I like it. Drill an 1/8 inch pilot hole, and then use my step bit, get it up to I don't know, what is it, 7/32 for the pilot hole, and then do the hole saw. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 holes drilled. Deburr it. I usually actually have tools at work there. You spin it around, clean up the edges, but it's at work. Alright. Got everything wiped down, cleaned up the bird. Time for the dimple dye. Brush, a little bit of grease on it, so I guess that's so it can slide in there pretty easy. And let the metal stretch across it. Or actually, that's stretching? Yeah, stretching across. Put it on threads. You don't gall up too bad. Alright, it gets pretty loud. You gotta leave the pile in there. That's for shearing. Because you only have to drill like a half-inch hole or 10mm hole or something like that through here. You should be able to shear the hole and knock the extra excess out, and then do the dimple dyeing. But I tried that with this and it just took too long. It was just easier to actually drill with the hole saw. Here we go. Here it's lined up. Email side on the inside, so the flange bends towards these bandages, so it's somewhat some thought was put into it. All right, here we go. There you go, that easy. Time to do the other 14. After a couple of nights of digging around and waiting for stuff to come in, finally got it done. Yay! Got it double dyed, trimmed, holes drilled along the edge for the welds. Same thing went up there. All that copper prime and ready to go. Next thing's up. Paint all that, copper prime it, copper weld through it, along the flange. This gets painted all there. Yeah, I'm gonna get that done shortly. And show that coming out. All right, before I spray, I'm gonna spray some of the copper weld through. Get everything good whipped down with some Eastwood's painting prep. Get rid of all the grease and shit. All right. Alright, day later, paint's dry, copper weld through primer's dry. I'm going to go mount all the stuff together in the car, clicker that in there real quick, and then clamp up my car so that way I know it's located properly in space, and then get to welding. Alright, got everything clamped up in there for now, because you're going to get, because like I said, I'm going to go along, put a couple welds along the flange, along the bottom, along the top. I'm going to take it out and do it over there on, I mean it's kind of washed out right now, but over there on the bench. And then put it in as an assembly. And just the reason why I'm doing a bench, that way I'm not trying to weld overhead because I'm kind of lazy. And well, I'm not that good at welding, so. Alright, probably next time you see this, I'll be fully welded in on the bench for the support, and go put it in the car. Alright, now we got it all welded in. You see a pretty good penetration all the way through. Not complaining. The wire speed was turned up well, actually it was turned down ever so slightly, but I had heat turned up. Actually the voltage turned up. So it, quick heat, get it in there, get it welded. Now I clean this up with a wire wheel. Flip it over to the bottom side. And you can see, on the bottom side, not too shabby. A couple spots were slightly cold, but yeah, it's also trying to burn off that EDP coating. Alright, time to clean this stuff off with a wire brush on the Daco, or right angle grinder, sorry, and put it back in the car, and then final welded in. Get everything welded in. Finally. It's like 2 weeks in the making, but hey, I don't move fast, it's fine. So anyways, got all the weld through copper primer sprayed on there, getting ready for the inner rocker. But while the weld through primer is drying, I'm going to go lay out the holes on the inner rocker, fill them, or at least lay them out. And then I'll tape this stuff off where the weld through is, where I need a weld to. The whole reason why I didn't paint the inside of this brace was because all the welding I had to do around it, it just would have burned up the coating anyway. So yeah, that's the idea. Tape this stuff off, spray the etching primer, and then drill holes on the inner primer, in the inner primer, the inner rocker, and then have at it. Alright, everything's weld through primer on the edges there, paint it, ready for for rust protection and all that stuff. About 100 some holes drilled in the inner rocker panel. These are pretty easy to put in once you get everything, the rocker, actual outer rocker in. Pretty much conforms to whatever shape that it is there, which is nice. And then let's go over here to the actual part, and oh yeah, nice and dark for you guys. Hold on here, let's see if I can make this a little brighter. There we go. All painted, weld through primer. Hopefully tomorrow I can, or hopefully soon I can get this in here and all welded up, and then we can actually start working on everything else. It's clamped in. Most of the main clamps that I have, which is not a whole hell of a lot. I got about 90 minutes to get this welded in before the baling bond starts to set up. And I'm just going to go do it off camera and grind it all down. So I'll put some tunes on. See you in a bit. Alright, everything's welded in, ground down, ready for a quick coat of paint. I guess it took me about 2 hours altogether putting it in. Alright, so next step is I got a order out for toe board, so I can fix that mess there that I did a few years ago. And after that be the frame, firewall frame out, and then onto the floor. Alright, so that'll conclude finally the driver's side rocker, inner brace, outer rocker, and inner rocker install. Alright guys, thanks for watching.